Bandai is finally giving us the new patch for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. No DLC just yet. We will be getting into that later on today. What I would like to do right now though is I would like to show you guys what happened before the patch and what happened after the patch, some of the things that have been changed, some of the things that have been updated. Subscribe so that you don't miss a single bit of the DLC coverage, and leave a comment down below if there's anything I missed in regards to the patch notes. The first new feature that we've got is the chain blast, the link blast. The way that you do that, you hold down charge button and then you hold down theirs. Yeah, so as you can see, that's how quick it can happen. You get a boost to charging after. So let's see now, sparking boost. Press down R3. And add some more boost to it. Let's see how much damage this does. Okay, this does buku damage. It looks like when you use that, you go down on charging speed and you go down on defense. Now, I don't know how long this lasts, so we're gonna peep and see how long it lasts. All right, so it's not forever and you don't have to charge to get it back up. You can't do the sparking boost if you go into instant spark. Added a sparking boost. Boost the spirit bomb. How strong is this? Okay, spirit bomb is absolutely cooked. Your entire health bar could be gone in an instant. 3-bar characters have 40,000 health if you don't know that. So that's doing almost your entire health bar. That's absolutely insane. So the next thing that we have is the Z search, and as you guys can see, it's actually been adjusted so that the duration is different when it comes to before and after the search. So this is what it looks like starting from where he just locked onto him. We're gonna see how long this actually takes before he locks off again. And then locks back on. So I'm actually editing this right now, and as I'm realizing and reading the notes, it's actually saying that it varies depending on which character that you use. So the amount of time it takes to lose them can possibly be dependent on how weak or strong they are, because as you can see here, Goku locks on 1 second faster than Gohan. So now within this change right here, as you can see, characters now recover a small amount of ki when they're hit with melee attacks. So this is before the patch right here. We're not recovering any ki at all. This is after the patch. You don't recover any ki while you're blocking, but as you'll see here, you are getting a little bit of ki back as you're getting hit. Now I went ahead and turned on guard assist for this one. I believe this is when you do the follow-up after the chase down. So you follow him up and you press Y and then it does this. Now I didn't really notice too much of a difference, but I don't use this, but this is before the patch. And now this is what it looks like after the patch. It didn't really feel any different. I have guard assist enabled in both of these. So you guys let me know if this feels different to y'all. Now they adjusted the hit stun on impact for ki blasts. Now, this is what it looked like beforehand. You didn't have to hold it down all the way to send somebody, you know, flipping and tumbling forward. This was great in terms of looping, but this is how it looks right now. So I'm holding it down for about the same amount of time. I'm actually holding it down even longer here. And there is not really as much stun. They don't really fly forward and tumble a lot. You have to hold it down completely in order to send somebody tumbling now. So they actually did nerf that a lot. Now, aside from something else in this patch, this might be one of my favorite things they've patched, because you have no idea how many times I've been trapped inside of a building and wanted to get out. And look at that. This is how the game has been for as long as we know. You could not fly up through anything. You could not fly down through anything through the charged ascent and descent, but they have actually patched that. So this is what it's like now. You just go straight through it, just like a lore accurate Dragon Ball character could do. You fly up through things, you fly down through them, regardless of whether you're standing on them or you're just right in the vicinity of them. This to me was a fire addition. Thank you so much, Bandai. So as you guys can see, this one's relatively self-explanatory. They've reduced the skill stock consumption for Vegeta's, limits. I break them skill. It used to cost 5 and now you can see it costs 4, so that when you do have it, you can just charge right into sparking mode. So now this is a relatively interesting section right here. So these type of charge attacks, they're charge rush attacks. They actually, before the patch, would just go straight through certain beams. However, if you have somewhat of a piercing beam like cells that makes you fall to the ground and you try to use the same thing, that's the kind of thing that would stop you right in your tracks. So now this is after the patch. This is the part of it that remains unchanged to where, you know, this still goes through that. But now when it comes to Cell's perfect beam, when you use that same type of charge attack, it goes straight through it just like any regular blast attack. Now, another interesting part of this is that these can no longer be countered with a super perception. So this is before the patch. You could perception this and treat it just like any rush attack, to where you just hold the perception button down and it stops them in their tracks and sends them flying. However, now this is how things are looking after the patch. It's supposed to not be countered, so you can hold down perception all you want. It will not be blocked. Now, this is another interesting portion of the patch right here, and I believe their attempt right here was to nerf people like Videl, who gain key stock very quickly just from deflecting and then going straight into after image strike. I mean, I know not everybody on this part of the list has after image strike, but you can see here that it looks like it's actually a little bit slower now in terms of like how quickly you gain your key back just from deflecting away key blasts. I don't know, you guys be the judge of that. Let me know if you guys think that it's actually the same speed or a little bit slower. It looks slower to me. Now, it looks like they gave some characters the ability to get a bit of a Zenkai boost here, to where if their health is decreasing, they actually get a bit of an attack buff. So this is all shot before the update drops. So I dropped him down to 1 HP to compare the damage numbers for just a full string, you know, just regular melee attacks. And the damage is exactly the same. But now here is after the patch. So again, the damage is going to be the same because we're still at full health here. But now watch what happens when we're down to 1 health. We get about almost 1,000 more. So it's not a huge increase, but it's something. So this one was actually given to a lot of people right here. So when you are stunned like this and you mash buttons, this is the speed before the patch. You know, it really was not that fast. I'll zoom in here and show you guys. So now this is how things are looking after the patch. So I'm going to get stunned here again, and look at how much faster we gain our key back. Now I'm going to put these side by side so you guys can see for yourselves. So now they did a little bit of a buff, I guess, for the key blasts for Vegeta. So when you do the jump one, as you can see, this is before the patch, dashing before the patch. You can see how much key this is using here. So now this is after the patch. You can see it's a little bit less key, and I'm going to put these side by side. The dash is significantly less key than before. So here's the jump, and then here's the dash, and I'll slow this down because they're not at the same spot. It's almost 2 key bars used for before the patch versus after. It's just about 1. Now, finally, this might be probably the best patch note that we've got in this entire thing, and it's only for Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So this is before the patch, to where when you use a perception on a beam, you deflect it out into the side. And for whatever reason, they decided to say, nah, that ain't good enough. So we're gonna take it and say, instead, we're gonna make this more accurate. Goku is going to deflect it back at his opponent. Now, I actually really love how they did this, and it looks great. It makes sense with how they did it. I honestly, when I make a separate video about this, I'm actually going to see how it looks against, like, you know, projectile type of attack rather than a full-on beam, because this still looks sick, but I'm pretty sure it'll look amazing even as just an actual, like, projectile sphere. I'm not going to say ball, but you guys get the gist. But yeah, these are the changes before and after the patch. I'm actually pretty, you know, I'm happy about it, and I'm more so excited to actually play the DLC when that's finally released. So yeah, these are the patch notes. These are the before and afters. Let me know if there's anything I missed or misinterpreted. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.